Formula 1 skips ahead to Germany following the late cancellation after the Hungarian Grand Prix, as they couldn't supply the funds to host their race. BMW bring a much needed engine upgrade for Williams after seeing Giorgio struggle last race to keep ahead of the Renaults and even the McLarens. Mercedes brings some more reliability upgrades as well as a small aero package. Nothing as major as what Williams brought. Honda now finally bring an engine upgrade for McLaren, with the team are now confident they can finally take a race victory in this season and take McLaren's first victory since USA 2012. Taking a look at the qualifying grid for the German Grand Prix, and with Daniel Kvyat taking pole position, only 11 thousandths clear of his teammate Jean-Eric Vergne in second. Valtteri Bottas will line up in third for Mercedes, with Josh Chiro in fourth for Williams. Sebastian Buemi line up in fifth in the second Williams, with Rio Haryanto making the most of his engine upgrades to line up in sixth, only 2.5 tenths off of the pace. Fernando Alonso will start seventh for Mercedes, with Carlos Sainz an impressive showing to line up in eighth, only 5 thousandths slower than the Spaniard. Will Stevens line up in ninth for McLaren, and Max Verstappen will line up in P10, less than half a second off of the pace. Be a dismal showing from both of the Ferraris lining up in 11th and 12th, with Nico Hülkenberg in 13th for Renault. Then come the two Hasses of Romain Grosjean and Alex Rossi in 14th and 15th, with Sergio Perez just scraping through to Q2 in 16th. Pascal Wehrlein will start from 17th for Manor, with Daniel Ricciardo in 18th for Renault. Esteban Ocon will start from 19th and the second of the Force Indias, with Stoffel Vandoorne starting down in 20th. And once again, Marcus Ericsson and Adrian Sutter will round off the back of the grid for Sauber. Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to UniONE. This time, round 11 for Season 3, the German Grand Prix. If you did miss the race last time out, it was a home Grand Prix of Britain. Pretty nightmarish race for us, had a really big fight back on their hands. And looking to this race, Red Bull taking another 1-2 in qualifying, but they just aren't able to convert the race pace. And with a long back straight here at Germany, could be the same story today? We're going to finally get on top of it and take another 1-2 this season. And now, what can me and Buemi do? We've seen Buemi's race pace has been electric in his past few races, but now with a new upgraded BMW engine, can we do anything to try and take the fight to Red Bull? And what can the two Ferraris do, starting from 11th and 12th? Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, really out of position from both of them, so can they do anything and be a dark horse, a dark prancing horse in this race? Now we're going to line up in P4, just behind Valtteri Bottas and in front of our teammate Buemi. And Bottas really has had an up and down season, really has been a mixed bag. Obviously he had a terrible bad luck in the first 8 races of the season. Was leading the Canadian Grand Prix, then drops back, so he doesn't look like he has the pace this season, so hopefully we can get in front of Bottas relatively quickly so he doesn't hold us up. We're now coming to the 5 red lights, the start of the German Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. Bottas are getting a really good start. It looks like the Red Bull was boxed down off the start, and that's stuff. And once again, a terrible start there for Jean-Eric Vergne. Going side by side now with our teammates passing Buemi to turn one, force Buemi wide. Now Buemi gets momentum, they're losing momentum. They're going side by side now with Rio Haryanto. Haryanto there being very opportunistic off of the start there, trying to make a move over the side of our team. And now gets Fernando Alonso as well. So Alonso trying to get on the inside there off Sebastian Buemi. So Buemi loses 2 positions there off the start to Haryanto and to Fernando Alonso as well. And now coming down the straight, can Buemi use his straight out speed advantage? Try and get past from now, wheezing out trying to speed advantage to get past Jean-Eric Vergne. So Vergne jumps from 2nd to 4th now. Bottas now for the lead of the Grand Prix, up the inside of Daniel Kvyat, using our straight line speed advantage, much to our advantage there to get past now into 1st and 3rd respectively for me and Bottas. Buemi there with a terrible exit, gets a complete tank flap around on the corner exit. Looks like he's losing a load of time there now behind these two Toro Rossos. And I guess one of the McLarens and the two Ferraris are still behind us also. Buemi there with a complete nightmare start, losing what, 4-5 positions in 1 lap. It's not the start Buemi needed, and not what we needed in front of the home crowd here, in front of the BMW bosses. Dropping back. I mean, we're still in P3, so we're doing the job so far. But Sebastian Buemi really does need to start picking it up in this race. Losing 5 positions off of the start is really not what we need to do to try and press the BMW bosses and probably even Frank Williams. But no, we're all over the back now. Off Daniel Kvyat now at the end of the first lap. Bottas is leading, and now Kvyat will be getting in Sushi now on the back. of Valtteri Bottas, but we're still gaining on the back of Danica Kvyat as well because we're using a superior straight speed advantage, and we've got Johnny Van behind us. Now we see much of a gap in one lap. Us four have already pulled over the rest of the field, with Rio Haryanto I think in 5th. But now can Danica Kvyat use the slipstream to his advantage to try and re-overtake Valtteri Bottas? Will be gaining in the slipstream now. If he can try and make a move, is he gaining in the slipstream? He's got some speed, and now he's going to pull to the inside now of Valtteri Bottas. Now coming up into the hairpin, we're stuck behind there, sandwiched behind, but that's really nothing that we can do. Now coming up into the hairpin, take a bit of a wide line. We've got Johnny Van behind us. Now Van's tapped us and Van spun us round. No, it's the second time this season now Van spun us round. Now we're going to lose a whole heap of positions for the second race in a row. Now we're behind our teammate Sebastian Buemi. We can play nightmare now with for me and Buemi. Now we're going to get back in front, thankfully, in front of the Haas and McLaren now of Will Stevens. But a nightmare start there for Buemi and now ourselves as well. We can get completely taken out there by Charlie Van for the second race in a row. Not second race in a row, second time this season. First at Monaco in the hairpin, and now it still seems Vern and hairpins don't mix well when we're near. So now we're down into P9, Buemi in P8, still stuck behind both of the Toro Rossos. But now we've got a real fight on our hands now, of course, coming into this race with 1-2 in the championship. We've got a 20-point lead over Sebastian Buemi, but Buemi is only 4 points ahead of both of the Red Bulls and Fernando Alonso as well. So we're going to need to put in a good showing now to try and get back over the field, try and keep our championship lead, try and protect the championship lead. Now Buemi, we need to get a move on it and get past the two Toro Rossos, because we're going to end up getting stuck behind Buemi now. Making a move fake to the inside there, filling Buemi's mirrors, showing we need to get a move on. Because that's what we need to do. We need to get back. We can't finish in P8 and P9. We need to get back up front in this race. You've seen that we have the pace in qualifying, so we should be able to try and out-drag these Toro Rossos to try and make a move once again. That's how the Toro Rossos now going to try and make a move on Rio Haryanto. Now the first one gets past, and now Haryanto being mugged out by both of the Toro Rossos coming up into the hairpin. Haryanto going to lose 2 positions to both the Toro Rossos. He's going to try and hold it around the outside, but he's going to try and make a move on the side as well. And Haryanto there just loses 2 positions there to both of the Toro Rossos. So maybe Honda's engine upgrades aren't working as much as they would have thought they would have. And once again, Haryanto was showing some good pace in qualifying, only 2.5 tenths off the pace of the Red Bulls, but when it comes to the race, once again that McLaren is just nowhere with that Honda power unit. Now we're still in P now, Buemi's still in P8. Obviously actually go purple there through the second sector, so we have got it shown there. We do have pace, but we just need to get past these slower cars. The slower overlap, they may have the straight lines, probably running low drag sectors, I imagine both the Toro Rosso because they've got a Renault power unit of course. Through this third sector we get really hooked up. There's something about this third sector that and this Williams really suits. I mean, we gain so much time there on the back of Sebastian Buemi now through this first sector, but there's no way we can make a move. And now it's come on to start now of lap 3. DRS will now be enabled, so now we should be able to make easy moves past the Toro Rossos, first of all past Rio Haryanto as well. And that's McLaren, which really is a lot slower, disappointingly a lot slower than they should be going now that Honda have brought some engine upgrades. It doesn't look like these upgrades have actually done, well, honestly anything to improve their race pace. Now Buemi gaining in station now on the back of Haryanto, now can easily pull to the inside of the Indonesian driver and just breeze around his outside there. Now we can try and make it through, go around the outside now of Haryanto, coming to break. Haryanto is a bit late on the brakes there. He's heading to Buemi, he's just shoved Buemi off of the track. What's Haryanto thinking? This is just completely outbrakes himself and takes out Sebastian Buemi. And now Buemi once again drops down behind the Ferrari, so Buemi's nightmare race just isn't getting any better. But now we're up into P8, you've got Roman Grosjean on the soft tyres now up into P9. But now we have to try and chase down Rio Haryanto for P7. Haryanto will have fallen out of DRS range of the cars in front, so he's got no DRS because he's got no buffer or no protection of DRS from the cars in front. So Honda power versus BMW power, that's easily going to be a win for us in any straight line situation. Now we're coming up to the fact that once again we're just getting so much speed. Okay, now we're going to go over the inside now. Haryanto around the final corner, find a gap to the inside, but Haryanto just shuts the door on us. Now we're going to come up to the start finish straight and gain insulation. We're going to pull to the inside of Haryanto coming down into turn 1. We're going to force Haryanto out wide. They're going to be a payback there for to Buemi. That costs Haryanto losing momentum. They've got Roman Grosjean and the Haas coming up behind him now. Haas, of course, using that BMW power unit to his advantage. You have to make a move at this side. We've got Sebastian Buemi going 3 wide now with Will Stevens and one of the Ferraris behind as well. So it doesn't look like White Hat. We've got poor exit. He drops down back behind them, both of those cars. But now Buemi will have DRS on the back of them, and that Ferrari will have DRS now on the back of Will Stevens as well. So now can the Ferrari try and make a move there on the McLaren? We've got a great paint shot. They've coming now. Buemi's going to make it 3 wide now, coming up into the hairpin with Sebastian Vettel and Will Stevens. Now can Buemi make a move on the inside once again? He's looking at a terrible exit out of the corner again. And I guess one of the Renaults as well. And Buemi just can't. Buemi just seems just isn't in the zone this race. And then because one of the man has passed him as well. And got one of the Haas trying to look down his outside as well. So Buemi really has just not on it this race. He's really just take a moment to compose themselves. It's getting too flustered in this race. But now coming a bit further on, and we're now up into P5. As I mentioned, a few cars made the first pit stops now. And now we've got Carlos Sainz on super soft tyres in front of us. But now we're going to come into the pits now for our first stop to go onto a set of soft tyres. Now got one of the Red Bulls and one of the Torreses. So the Red Bulls, once again, the race pace doesn't seem to be too great, much like with the McLarens. They've got the pace over one lap. But everyone else, we've just got so much more superior engine power that we're just able to keep with them. A good piss over there from the Williams boys. Now got one of the McLarens in front of us we get held up for. We lose a bit of time there overall, but I don't think we lost too much, everyone. There's absolutely no one around us when we come out of the pits. And the reason that I'm now going to say completely no one near us, so in the world of our own. And the reason we're in the world of our own is because we're in 21st, and Harry Anto is the only car behind us, so now we've got some clean, fresh air in front of us. Now we try and push, now try and get an undercut the car in front. Now looking up front now, our teammate Sebastian Buemi once again gets completely sliding on the corner exit, and he tries to make a move down one of the McLarens. So once again, Buemi just really needs to compose himself in this race. He's just ruining his own race, trying too hard to gain his positions too quickly. And he's just not working out for him. He's just trying too ambitious moves to try and make other positions, and he's just not working out for him. So he just needs to take a moment, compose himself, and then try and put on a proper charge. Now we've actually got one of the Manners there in front of one of the McLaren, so I think it might be Pascal Wehrlein. So Wehrlein having the absolute worldly start to this race. Of course, this is Wehrlein's home race in front of the home crowd, wants to impress. Of course, the Mercedes power unit in the back of that Manor as well, so pretty much double incentives there for Wehrlein to do well in this Grand Prix. But now are they coming to the pits at the end of this lap? Well, yeah, but Buemi pits now at the end of this lap. We will have an undercut on our teammate Sebastian Buemi. And let's see how much of an undercut we actually gain, because Buemi there gaining, will be losing time, of course, getting the slide on the end of the hairpin, and still behind the McLaren and one of the Manners as well. Let's see if Manor loses any time then. And Buemi got a good pistol over there. Has managed to jump the McLaren. Yes, he has. He's managed to jump there. Will Stevens in the pit lane. So a great pistol there from the win. So they give Buemi the good pit stops, and then give us the good pit stops. But now we're only up into P19. We've got Verstappen in front of us. We've got Harry Anto behind us. But now we're gaining on the back now of Max Verstappen. Of course, we're on the soft tyre. So the medium tyre available. Got the actual medium tyres to go on for the end of the race. And looking a bit further up front, we've got one of the rebels now trying to go up the inside now of one of the Saubers into the hairpin. It should be a pretty easy move there for the Red Bull. Indeed it is. Now we've got one of the Mercedes behind us, poor exit out of the corner. Now does that give the other Red Bull a chance? Now Fernando Alonso just has enough straight line speed, gets enough traction out of the corner to keep it ahead of the Red Bull for a bit longer. We've got one of the Toro Rossos just behind there as well, so Toro Rosso looking to have a good showing in this race, as well. And then still we've got Max Verstappen in front of us, gaining on the back of the Dutchman. Of course, pretty much because there's no Dutch Grand Prix, so the Belgian Grand Prix is the closest he'll get to a home Grand Prix next time out. Now we actually go purple there through the second sector, so we do have the pace in this race. As I said earlier on, we just need to maximise our potential with our pace, with our new BMW power unit upgrades, to try and make a move past Max Verstappen, try and get up into P18, the heights of P18. Now coming through the final sector once again, trying to look to the inside of Max Verstappen. We just haven't got enough there around the final corner. And we have to stay behind Verstappen for a bit longer. Now coming down the straight, we're gaining a section. We actually set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, showing there that we do have the pace over Max Verstappen. Now we're going to make a move now to the inside of Max Verstappen, come down to turn 1, but then we get pulled, Sainz just pulls out dangerously in front of us to block us off there. So now we try and make a move up the inside of the Dutchman, now coming up into turn 2. We're going to make a move around the outside. We made a move there on Max Verstappen. Now we can say about chasing down Carlos Sainz in the other Toro Rosso, but now we've got one of the Red Bulls in front gaining on the back of the Sauber. The Sauber actually gaining in the solution and DRS on the back of Fernando Alonso. Sutter's going to make a move back to the inside of Fernando Alonso. Of course, the thing about it, it's a bit too far back. Of course, Sutter taking points finish here for Sauber back in 2014 in season 1. Remember the last time we had the German Grand Prix, so Sutter once again looks like he will try and repeat that fate here in the German Grand Prix in this season. But now we're still behind Carlos Sainz, got Verstappen behind us, and hopefully now that Sauber, because the Sauber really is just so slow over our lap, hopefully we can use that to our advantage and use Sutter to hold up with the cars in front, and now we can gain through the fast. Once again we lose so much time there off the corner exits. Once again the downforce and traction just isn't there as I would like it to be. You see that how much we gain under braking there on the back of Sauber, because the Sauber have less downforce obviously than pretty much everyone else on the grid, so they have to brake earlier. And I can try and go right around the outside now of Carlos Sainz into the final sector, trying to hold now around the outside of the Spaniard. Even making it right around the outside, but dangerous section going wild there for that overtake. Now we've got the Red Bull going for the move now on Adrian Sutter down into turn 1. We're trying to go around the outside now of Carlos Sainz. We get boxed in behind the Sauber. Now the Taurus get back past. Now Max Verstappen trying to get back past us as well. So instead of making one move, we could lose 2 positions here. Now Verstappen going up the inside now of the Sainz as well. of the cell, but they're going side by side now on the exit. We can run off wide off the track, they're trying to hold it 3 right on the outside, which doesn't work out. And we get Kevlis, and then we've got one of the McLarens with really high on catching up right behind us as well. There's a great panning shot here of all the cars coming through. We're going to use our station to advantage now. We easily power past on the inside now, get past the cell, and they're trying to go around the outside of Max Verstappen as well. Coming up to the hairpin, trying to hold it out around the outside of the Dutchman, get it on the racing line. Of course, we've got the momentum on the racing line, get the traction, and keep it side by side with Verstappen. Going to put up a good fight, fair play to him. And they're coming into the second sector, speed right around the outside of Max Verstappen. Now we move up ahead of the Dutchman once again. Now looking a bit further on though, we've got one of the Manners now going side by side now with one of the Mercedes up in front. Straight bit of a stupid camera over there from the FIA, not changing camera angle, but now coming into the hairpin. Inside that Manor has lost 2 positions there, gets a terrible exit on the corner. Now we've got Valtteri Bottas just behind trying to gain literally now. Fernando Alonso going side by side now with the Manor's got the Red Bull getting just behind there, one of the Force Indians getting involved there as well. One of the Toro Rossos just behind as well. The Manor just cuts back in front there. Now we've got the Red Bull going for the move up the inside there of Esteban Ocon in the Force India. Very opportunistic there, move there from that Red Bull. But they made the move stick there on Esteban Ocon. We're trying to go right around the outside though of Carlos Sainz once again in stadium station, and force Sainz over to the inside, compromising line, has to take a tight line. And we're going to go right around the outside now, keep it side by side, around the outside now of Carlos Sainz coming through the stadium section once again. Now got making a move there up the inside. Great camera shot there of us making the overtake there on Carlos Sainz, and we made the move stick there on Carlos Sainz. Now we can try and stay by chasing down the Manor in front of us, unless they come into the pits, that is. As you know, it's Esteban Ocon in front of us. As the Manor comes into the pits, so the Manor takes himself out of this little battle here. Along with one of the Rebels, we come to the pace as well. So now we've got Esteban Ocon in front of us in the Force India on medium tyres. So Ocon looks to go along in the first lane, and we've got Ocon in front of us. But now, is there going to be a safety car or anything else? Because that's what happens when we have Ocon in front of us. Since we get very close there to Ocon's rear diffuser, so we almost caused the safety car there if we actually hit that into back of Ocon. But thankfully we didn't, so that we're going to outbrake ourselves and actually run a bit wide there through the corner. Now we're going to gain in DRS now on the back of Esteban Ocon, gaining installation because we know how fast that Force India is in a straight line, but it's not as fast as this BMW Williams. Now going to pull to the inside now of Esteban Ocon, coming up into the hairpin, trying to move now up the inside. Esteban Ocon keeps side by side up to hairpin with the inside line, force Ocon out wide. Ocon going to try and hold it on the outside line, but we have the traction on our soft tyres compared to his used medium, which he started the race on, and we can move that up in front of Esteban Ocon. So we can say about trying to chase down the Red Bull in front of us. Now going to the next slide, we've got Valtteri Bottas now in front of us, we've got Carlos Sainz behind us, so Sainz has made a move and Ocon's going to fight back now. The safety car's been deployed, and Stoffel Van Dorn's out of the Grand Prix. So what did I say? Esteban Ocon's behind us, and he causes the safety cars. And what is it with Esteban Ocon and safety cars? Just spawning them in this race, in this season. But now we can use that to advantage now, coming to the pits now. At the end of that lap, and going to a set of soft tyres again, and then going to a set of mediums at the end of the Grand Prix. So turning this race from a 2-stop into a 3-stop for us now. Now coming to the pits now for a set of soft tyres. We're going to a set of medium tyres later on in the Grand Prix. We've got one of the Mercedes just in front of us, which I think may be Fernando Alonso. In the Mercedes, I think Valtteri Bottas has stayed out. We've actually jumped the random pits on there because Pascal Wehrlein now coming out down into turn 2, and Wehrlein's just going to get ahead of us there on pit exit, much like Verne did back at Azerbaijan. He just gets ahead of us now on pit exit. So what actually happened there to cause safety car? Here's a look at replay. What actually caused safety car? So we got Romain Grosjean going slowly. Does the car actually say is he stuck in third gear or something? So no, he's got a puncture there. So what actually happens now? Van Dorn just plows into the back of Romain Grosjean there. His front wheel actually flies over the top there of Romain Grosjean. What is Van Dorn doing? This thing? Dangerous driving there from Stoffel Van Dorn. So now here's a replay of it from Van Dorn. You can see there's actually no one near him. He just decides to plough right into the back of Romain Grosjean and then just stop. So really dangerous driving there. That could be the end of Van Dorn's career. You've seen there with it's happened before with dangerous driving. I think it was from I can't remember who he was. It was in 2006. One of the Super Aguri drivers just kept causing dangerous incidents, and then they got the super license, that racing super license, taking off them. And if I was a steward, I would do the same for Van Dorn after causing what 100 and something mile an hour collision right into the back of Romain Grosjean, and then just parking your car on the track. I'm pretty sure that might actually be the end of Van Dorn's F1 career. But now looking a bit further on, looking at the order of the cars, we're now in P10. Then we've got Danny Ricciardo behind us. We've got Alex Rossi in the points now in the other Haas. So Alex Rossi flying the flag for Haas. That's the only remaining one really in the points. Grosjean's going to way out this race now. And then we've got Esteban Ocon riding off the points there in P12. Now cutting on to the end of the safety car period on lap 16. So not even halfway in this race yet. And we've got Pascal Wehrlein in front of us now in P7. So Wehrlein in a really strong position now if he can get some points. If he makes one more stop, then he might actually get some points in this race. Now coming now onto the end of the safety car period now, green flag running now, and now Buemi leads us back to green flag running with Max Verstappen there in second zone. This isn't the first time Verstappen's been in second safety car restart this season. Remember last time back at Spain, that time was on intermediate tyres. So now Verstappen's going to have a much harder time of defending. Now he's got one of the McLarens behind him as well, so maybe he will be able to defend from it after all. That McLaren got one of the Ferraris up there in fourth, so two Ferraris there in fourth and fifth, so the Ferraris really have benefited from this safety car and stayed out and trying to get a track position there, use the track position there to advantage. Now got Haryanto gaining insulation now on the back of Max Verstappen. Now as he comes out into the hairpin, Haryanto tries to try and make a move. No, he's not quite close enough. That's to stay behind Max Verstappen for the time being. But now we're still in P8, still behind Pascal Wehrlein in a manner. With that insane straight line speed. I don't know if Manor have any reliability upgrades that Mercedes brought to their own car this race. So I imagine that they wouldn't for this race. I imagine they'll get those upgrades pretty soon. As you see, Mercedes are pretty fair with their engine upgrades. The scenes of the race later, they always get them, whereas BMW are waiting until the Italian Grand Prix to bring Haas the engine upgrades. Now, Sinipay, we have to worry about, the more we're still behind Pascal Wehrlein, the more this is going to allow Daniel Ricciardo and the Renault behind us to keep up, because Renault have put Daniel Ricciardo out there on a set of super soft tyres, so we have to stop again in this Grand Prix, so Ricciardo looks to maximise his pace, try and gain some positions while we're all bunched up. I mean, in theory, that's probably the better strategy from Renault, because they're going to send medium tyres for the end of the Grand Prix now to gain insertion now on the back of Pascal Wehrlein coming down to home, make a move to the side. We're not quite close enough. That man just has so much straight line speed in it, they're not able to make the move on the back of Pascal Wehrlein. We're now coming down into turn 2 once again, trying to make him fake to the inside. That there's just too much straight line speed in that manner for us to be able to make a move on him just yet. But now we'll have the slipstream now on the back of Pascal Wehrlein. Now we can try and make a move coming up into the hairpin. We're gaining in slipstream once again. A great camera shot. I see that all the clouds are now gone, so there's definitely no chance of rain. I'm going to pull to the inside now of Pascal Wehrlein coming down into the hairpin, trying to make a move inside, trying to outbrake Pascal Wehrlein, and Wehrlein pretty much just backs out of that. Now go 3 wide up in front there. Sebastian Vettel looks like trying to get horrible exit out of the corner, complete tank slide on the exit, and now Vettel drops down in front of us. So Vettel there trying to get in one position. It looks like he lost 4 or 5 positions there in one corner, much like pretty much a repeat of what Sebastian Buemi did early on in the Grand Prix, because Buemi now leading the Grand Prix because Williams decided to leave him out. So pretty much a good, because Buemi does have to stop again in this Grand Prix. That our pit crew wanted us to come in early to get an undercut and qualify, but I'm not going for that strategy because I want the tyres to last so I can push to the end of the Grand Prix. Of course, if we're stuck in this queue of cars that we're battling, I'm not going to lose any time to the cars in front. As now we are into P7 and Wehrlein still sticking right behind us. Now we try and get past Sebastian Vettel and the fast getting very up close to his gearbox there. There's a few cars coming now for what should be their final pit stops in this race. And that may be one of the McLarens and one of the Renaults are in as well. So Daniel Ricciardo's going for his final stop, along with Rio Haryanto and one of the Toro Rossos as well. So Haryanto should be all these cars should be going to a set of medium tyres take up to the end of the Grand Prix. So what tyres does Haryanto got? Haryanto is going on to a set of medium tyres to the end of the Grand Prix, and the Renault there, Daniel Ricciardo, has actually jumped the Toro Rosso. So poor pit stop there from Toro Rosso, pretty much uncharacteristic for them. Had to have a bad pit stop, and now look back into us. Now we're getting right insulation now on the back of Sebastian Vettel. We're going to try and make a move into the hairpin, try and make a move up the inside now, but Vettel just outbrakes us, coming up into the hairpin, and Vettel keeps in front of us. But Valtteri Bottas then makes the move on Lewis Hamilton now for what should be second place in the Grand Prix, because Sebastian Buemi's just long gone out in front with all of us battling. So then Bottas now moves on to P2. Vettel still in front of us in P4, and Lewis Hamilton drops down to P3. But still, if anyone's told me that the Ferraris would be in in third and fourth on lap 19 of the Grand Prix, I would have said that you're out of your mind with how far off in qualifying they were. We just used the safety car once again. Luckily has worked to their advantage. Now going through the stadium station once again, we need to try and get a good run on Sebastian Vettel here, try and keep close to him, try and make a move in the DRS zone into turn 1 or the DRS zones into turn 2, turn 3. And now Sebastian Buemi comes to the pit, so Buemi going for the undercut on us as well, despite being out in the lead. Williams has brought Sebastian Buemi in a few laps earlier than us. Maybe they're seeing a gap to drop him out into, maybe seeing a gap or something to drop him back out into. So now this is now the fight for what is currently the lead of the Grand Prix. And try and gain it in the station now. Back to Sebastian Vettel coming down into turn 2 once again. We're just a bit too far behind. And then we've got one of the Red Bulls now going side by side with Pascal Wehrlein behind. I'm going to make the move on Pascal Wehrlein, but I think they may have done it at the complete wrong time, because that Wehrlein is going to have DRS now, plus station to try and power back that Red Bull. We know how fast this man is in straight line. Wehrlein's going to easily power back past the Red Bull now, coming up into the hairpin and make an easy move there on the Red Bull. Make a move to the inside, keep it on the inside. Red Bull's going to try and fight it right around the outside, but Wehrlein's going to have the inside line, and Wehrlein makes the move back on the Red Bull. So the slowest car around the lap just overtakes the fastest. So much straight line speed in that manner, using that to advantage there to get past the Red Bull, which is honestly one of the slower cars in a straight line. And we've got Fernando Alonso there making a move on the Haas of Alex Rossi. But now we're actually up into P3, so in the midst of all of that, we've actually managed to get past Sebastian Vettel. So now we can try and chase down Valtteri Bottas, who's now been re-overtaken by Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is now back into the lead of the German Grand Prix. course, he won this race back in 2014 in the Mercedes, so he definitely knows his way around this track. Now Valtteri Bottas gaining installation, Bottas, none of them come to the pits, so Bottas is gaining installation. There's a guy behind us, Vettel. I think Vettel is now coming in for his pit stop. There's actually no one behind us. Vettel's just disappeared off the face of the earth. I think Vettel has coming for his final stop, and now we're gaining on the back. Valtteri Bottas now coming down with the DRS now into turn 2, all the way close enough to try and make a move. Coming down into turn 2 with fade to the inside once again, trying to put Valtteri Bottas off. Just fill up his mirror, showing that no one know that we're there. We're just not close enough to Valtteri Bottas to make a move yet. Now we're going to have the second bite of DRS now, because Bottas will still have DRS off the back of Lewis Hamilton in front, so gaining now in the back, on the section on the back of Valtteri Bottas, now going to pull to the inside of Valtteri Bottas, now coming up into the hairpin. Bottas outbraces, so we only have to make a secondary dive up his inside. And now coming up the inside, Bottas is going to try and hold it around the outside. It's going to be a drag race now between me and Valtteri Bottas. Bottas on the racing line. We have the better traction here on our soft tyres compared to his mediums. And we're going to make the move up the inside and make it stick. Yeah, we do. And now we move up ahead of Valtteri Bottas and now into P2. Fernando Alonso there now slowly starting to catch up to us now. Behind us there. Now we've got one of the Renaults of Daniel Ricciardo doing pretty well in the race as well. Now cutting the lap further on. Now we've got Valtteri Bottas gaining in the station with DRS from behind us. Now this is for the lead of the Grand Prix, because Lewis Hamilton must have come in for his pit stop now. So Bottas now looking up our inside. Now can try and make the move up our inside. We're going to try and hold it now right around the outside of Valtteri Bottas. That's how we make the move stick. We keep it side by side now with Valtteri Bottas. Can hold it now around the outside because we're on the racing line. Can we sweep it right on the outside of Valtteri Bottas now? Can we keep it right around the outside of Valtteri Bottas now, coming up into the third sector. Can we sweep it around the outside of Valtteri Bottas? And we do. We keep making the move there up the inside, and we keep it up there in front of Valtteri Bottas, and Bottas demoted back down to P2, and for the time being we're into the lead of the German Grand Prix. But now we should be coming in for our pit stop now at the end of this lap. But now that we have given the Ferraris, both Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel there, an undercut on us, that may not work out best for us in the end, but still we should be able to gain some time on the cars behind us. Hopefully we have to hope that they've been stuck in traffic, so we can use our clean air that we had, despite battling with Valtteri Bottas, to our advantage, to try and gain some time on them. Now we come into the pits now for our final pit stop to go into a set of medium tyres to take us to the end of the Grand Prix. Williams there with a good pace, so they're changing our tyres now onto a set of mediums. And they'll send us back out again onto the racetrack. And it's like a few cars behind us coming for their final pit stops as well. And now whereabouts are we going to rejoin? Whereabouts are the cars going to be? There's one of the Ferraris. Got past us. Is that really Haryanto's got past us as well? So Haryanto, we're using his undercut there to perfection. What, 3-4 lap undercut possibly on us. And he makes the move past us there. But now we should try and chase down Rio Haryanto in that McLaren. McLaren is down a straight line speed, but what it does have is pretty decent when it's in the DRS of the car in front. Talking of DRS, we do have DRS now off the back of Rio Haryanto. Coming up into the hairpin, we're just too far back for the tyre beams to try and make a move on the back of Rio Haryanto, closing up loads there on the braking though. But we have kept ahead of Sebastian Vettel, so Vettel's undercut. So Vettel was the first of us to stop, and his undercut strategy really hasn't worked out for us there. Now cutting a few laps on, all the way cutting out to lap 26, we're still stuck behind Rio Haryanto. But Rio Haryanto is still stood behind Lewis Hamilton, and now we've got Sebastian Buemi on soft tyres now behind us. Now getting in station now DRS. And now Haryanto will be getting in DRS now on the back of Lewis Hamilton. He's close enough this time to try and make a move on the back, and now Haryanto going to breeze past the Ferrari now, coming to the hairpin. Hamilton's going to try and hold it now around the outside. Can Haryanto hold it up the inside line of Lewis Hamilton? He does make the mistake. Hamilton gets a Commons exit out of the quad, now gets a slow off the exit. Now that gives us an opportunity to get past as well. Now we managed to make a move past Lewis Hamilton there. So Hamilton, in the space of one corner, has just lost 2 positions to Haryanto and then ourselves as well. So maybe the McLaren upgrades are working after all. Maybe just a few technical issues, like maybe a previous race at previous time out at Britain where Haryanto would drop back earlier on and then came back at the end of the race. Maybe the same thing is happening again. Maybe some small electrical issues, maybe some, because there is some new engine upgrades, so upgrades don't always work perfectly, or maybe not even at all. So maybe the engine upgrades are working perfectly for McLaren, but it does like they may have made some significant upgrades there. As they're coming through the third sector once again, but all over the back of Rio Haryanto now coming down the straight now into turn 1. We will try and make a move this time. We're not quite close enough coming down into turn 1 to make a move. We just have to stay behind Haryanto for a bit longer. Now we're gaining in solution now on the back of Rio Haryanto, gaining in solution. We come down into turn 2, we're just too far behind once again. So have to stay behind now and wait for DRS. Down the third sector, down this back straight with DRS once again. We should be able to make an easy move past Rio Haryanto. Now gaining in the DRS now on the back of the McLaren, keeping in the slipstream and making an easy move. Going so much overspeed there on the McLaren. And we can make a move now up the inside of Rio Haryanto. Now we move back up now into P2. And now we can try and chase down Sebastian Buemi. He's now in the lead of the Grand Prix. You can see him just up there in distance. Now cutting a bit further on, looking a bit further back. There's a huge battle now with one of the Miners and one of the Renaults. Going side by side, you've got one of the Red Bulls there just up in front. So the Red Bulls really are a long way back in this Grand Prix. Just so far down in straight line speed. It just really isn't working to advantage now. The Renault of Nico Hulkenberg managed to make the move there on Pascal Wehrlein. So Wehrlein may have started well in this race, but he's slowly starting to drop back now. Hopefully you can use that straight line speed further on to try and get back past the Renault. Then we've got one of the Force Indies behind it all. Then we've got the two Toro Rossos. The two Toro Rossos are a long way back in this race, so disappointing for them. The other two Toro Rossos are so far back in this Grand Prix as well. I thought they went higher up given how good the start to this race was. They're cutting all the way onto lap 32. Only 2.5 laps left in this Grand Prix. And we're right up behind Sebastian Buemi now. And we've also took Rio Haryanto along with us. So now this is going to be a three-way fight now for the race lead for the final 2 laps of the Grand Prix. And again, all behind Sebastian Buemi through the final sector. Buemi, once again, looks to be struggling through the final sector. This final sector looks to be very strong. It's now gaining acceleration now. And back to Sebastian Buemi coming down to turn 1. We just aren't close enough. Trying to make him get very close to Buemi's gearbox now. As we come up into the to turn 1 and gaining acceleration and DRS now coming to potentially Fernando Alonso set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. But that means absolutely nothing because Fernando Alonso is absolutely nowhere near us. But now coming up through turn 3 now, once again gaining in the DRS now on the back of Sebastian Buemi. We have to wait for DRS, we should be able to make a move on him in the DRS zone because once again with DRS we should be so much faster than Sebastian Buemi. Now we can pull to the inside now of Sebastian Buemi. Coming up into the hairpin, got Rio Haryanto waiting just behind in case anything happens between us two. Buemi's going to try and hold in that round outside. Yeah, it's going to be a drag race now between me and Sebastian Buemi. As we come down into the third sector, but now we get ahead of Sebastian Buemi. There's only 1.5 laps of this race left to go. We now move into the lead of the German Grand Prix, and after the start we held me and Buemi down in 9th and 10th to be leading 1-2 with 1 lap of this race left to go. That's a pretty good recovery, I'd say. Now we've got Rio Haryanto waiting just behind us. Haryanto must have that McLaren engine. McLaren must have turned that engine up to its maximum settings now, because here's the scene. We want to take the first victory since America 2012, and this is going to be their best chance to do it. So I imagine they must have turned that engine all the way up now to try and get past. But a McLaren engine, a Honda engine all the way turned up versus BMW engines all the way turned up. This should easily still be advantage BMW. But now to come on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Sebastian Buemi's there, only 2.5 tenths behind us now. He's gaining in the DRS. He's going to make a move to the inside. Buemi's going to try and move to our inside now. Going up into turn 2. It's Buemi facing us. Should keep it side by side. On corner exit, but we just keep it in front there of Sebastian Buemi. Now got Rio Haryanto gaining acceleration behind us, but now Buemi will have a second bite of the cherry, second bite of DRS now. Gaining acceleration now, Buemi's going to pull to the inside of us now. Coming up into the hairpin there, gets Rio Haryanto. Haryanto's going a little bit, we could lose 2 positions here. Now coming up, under braking for the hairpin. Buemi runs around, Haryanto's going for a dive up the inside of our teammate Sebastian Buemi. Haryanto goes for the lead of the Grand Prix on this final lap, and keeping being a drag race now. Between Sebastian Buemi and Rio Haryanto. Haryanto got up the inside line. Buemi just sweeps around the outside of Rio Haryanto, and Buemi moves back into the lead of the German Grand Prix. But still, Haryanto with 1 sector left to go. Can Haryanto try and make a move back on Buemi to take the win of the Grand Prix? Because either way, Haryanto made history. Haryanto will still be the first ever Indonesian driver to set foot on a Formula 1 podium. But I imagine he wanted to take that as a victory and not as a P2. But come around fast, just hiding around the outside of Rio Haryanto. We're just not close enough in the final sector. Again, illustration now on the back of Rio Haryanto. Now with 1 sector left to go. 1 corner left to go. Try and make a move on the side of Rio Haryanto. Once again, we're just not close enough. Around the final corner. And it's going to be Sebastian Buemi to win his first race of the season. Rio Haryanto makes history as being the first ever Indonesian driver to step foot on a Formula 1 podium. And we are right off the podium there in P3. Next to the Williams bosses, they're looking very happy with the race result. And honestly, a 1-3 after the start we had. Honestly, the pretty good recovery. Could have been a 1-2, but Sebastian Buemi, they're taking his 3rd career victory and his first victory since Monaco 2015. So Sebastian Buemi really has woken up in the championship now and finally putting a challenge out for the championship title. Taking a look at the race results. And Sebastian Buemi taking his first victory since Monaco 2015. But the real story is Rio Haryanto in 2nd is the first ever Indonesian driver to set foot on a Formula 1 podium. And we will come in 3rd to make it a Williams 1-3. It'll be a great recovery from both of the Ferraris to finish 4th and 5th after starting in 11th and 12th. With Fernando Alonso, the lead Mercedes, only in 6th. Daniel Kvyat drops down to 7th after starting on pole position. Valtteri Bottas in 8th after starting 3rd. Well, Stevens comes home in 9th for McLaren, with Jean-Eric Vergne dropping down to P10. Nico Hulkenberg taking some more valuable points for Renault in 11th, and Max Verstappen rounds off the point scorers in 12th for Toro Rosso. Now then, moving on to the drivers' standings, and now we only have a 12-point lead over our teammate Sebastian Buemi. on 132 points to his 120. Now Fernando Alonso jumps up into third now on 103 points, but 29 points behind us. Daniel Kvyat remains in fourth, only 1 point behind Fernando Alonso, and Jean-Yves Vergne now drops once again back down to fifth on 100 points. Lewis Hamilton is now 5 points clear of his teammate Sebastian Vettel in 6th and 7th, with Valtteri Bottas in 8th. Rio Haryanto now is only 7 points behind Valtteri Bottas now in 9th, with Romain Grosjean in 10th for Haas, and it'll be the two Toro Rossos of Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen rounding off the top 12. Now in the constructors standings, Williams now have a 50-point lead over Red Bull in second, with Mercedes in third, 10 points clear of Ferrari. McLaren in fifth on 79 points, Toro Rosso in sixth on 50, only 5 points clear now of Haas, who are in seventh on 45. Force India in eighth on 37, Renault in ninth on 22, and Manor and Sauber remain in 10th and 11th on 7 and 3 points respectively. So, my driver of the day for this race? Probably I'd have to say Sebastian Buemi. After finally waking up in this season, after the race he had, to come through and win it, yeah, that's pretty much why he, yeah, driver of the day for me. So that's been the German Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the race. Subscribe if you're new, comment down below your thoughts on the race or anything, and vote for your driver of the day with the polling that will be in the description and in the comments. It's the same link either way, so just click either one of them. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.